It's 2 a.m. Everyone else is asleep, but your mind just opened a tab for every unfinished conversation, every decision you haven't made, and every version of tomorrow that could go wrong. You're exhausted, but you can't stop. Psychology says this isn't a bad habit. It's a signal. And it reveals something specific about the way your mind is built. 1. Your brain doesn't switch off. It switches gear. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network. It's the part of your brain that activates when you stop focusing on the outside world. For most people, it hums quietly. For overthinkers, it runs at full volume. At night, when the distractions disappear, this network takes over. It replays, rehearses, and reconstructs. Not because something is wrong with you, because your brain treats thinking as work it still needs to finish. 2. Your emotions didn't get processed during the day. Psychologists call this emotional deferral. When life moves fast, the brain pushes unresolved feelings aside to keep you functional. But those feelings don't disappear, they wait. Night is when the noise stops, and everything you didn't have time to feel during the day comes back. The overthinking isn't random. It's your mind catching up on what it postponed. 3. You notice more than most people. Research on sensory processing sensitivity shows that some people are wired to detect subtlety, a shift in someone's tone, a look that lasted a second too long, a response that felt slightly off. During the day, you file these away. At night, your brain pulls them back out and tries to make sense of them. The overthinking is pattern recognition. Your mind doing what it does best, just at the wrong hour. 4. Control feels safer than uncertainty. Psychologists link nighttime overthinking to intolerance of uncertainty. When something feels unresolved, the mind keeps circling it, not to create anxiety, but to find an exit. Planning every outcome feels like protection. If you've already imagined the worst, it can't surprise you. The overthinking isn't fear. It's your brain trying to build a safety net out of thoughts. 5. You process in depth, not in speed. People who overthink at night are rarely shallow thinkers. They don't accept the surface of things. They need to understand fully before they can let go. Psychology calls this need for cognitive closure. The mind won't rest until something feels complete. And for deep thinkers, very little feels complete on the first pass. If your mind races every night, that's not a flaw. It's a pattern. And patterns have meaning. Your brain isn't broken. It's thorough. It's sensitive. It's still working when everyone else has stopped. The problem isn't that you think too much. It's that no one ever told you that was allowed. If you've ever stared at the ceiling wondering why your mind won't quiet down, subscribe. Because on this channel, we don't just describe how people feel. We explain why.